I'm the bad guy for canceling the entire vacation when I found out that my stepdaughters deliberately hid my daughter's passport to get her to stay home. I've been married to my with Beth for 5 years. I have a bio-daughter named Jessica, she's 18. And I also have two stepdaughters named Monica and Leah. They're 25 and 28. Both are single moms and live with us currently. There's been issues about my stepdaughters asking my daughter to babysit the kids. Jessica didn't have a problem with it at first, since it's what she does to earn money. But since her stepsisters don't pay her much, she's just refused to babysit. We worked this out by having my wife take care of paying for the babysitting. I planned a family vacation for 3 days and everyone wanted to go. However, both Monica and Leah suggested that Jessica stay home and watch the kids since Beth doesn't want her grandkids to come. They say it's because the kids are used to Jessica and hiring another babysitter will cause issues, and also said that Jessica isn't too fond of our destination, but it was obvious that Jessica wanted to go. They insisted and Beth offered to pay her double, and there was just a lot of back and front on this, till I demanded they stop bringing it up. We were supposed to go last week, but when everybody had bagged their bags and was time to go, Jessica found out that she didn't have her passport on her. We searched her bag, then went home and searched there. Beth and my stepdaughters keep insisting that we go back to the airport or else we'd miss our flight. They insisted that Jessica stay at home with the kids. They even told the new babysitter to go home because she was no longer needed. I refused to go and kept searching for the passport till Monica admitted that she helped Leah hide Jessica's passport to get hers to stay home with the kids. I was livid. I tried to get her to tell me where it was, but she said Leah had it. Leah denied it, so I threatened to cancel the vacation. That's when they gave it back. I decided to actually cancel the vacation and blew up at both of them and berated them. They stayed upstairs for a while, and Beth refused to speak to me and said that I punished my stepdaughters for worrying about their kids and wanting them to stay with someone they know. I got told I overreacted and ruined the trip for everybody. I didn't mention that kicking my stepdaughters it's possible since my wife co-owns the house that we currently live in. So, what do you think? I'm the bad guy for insisting my partner skip a work event. I have been with Paul for 4 years. A year ago, we were in a car accident. Paul was driving and 100% at fault. Paul had no injuries, but I broke my leg. I was on a back brace for months, and I'm still going to PT. After I was out of the brace, I started going to the gym and running. At this point, I'm in the best shape and I've ever been. I'm really proud of the progress I've made. A month ago, I found out there was a 10K race on the first year anniversary of the accident in a mountain town about 3 hours away. I thought this will be a fun and positive way to spend the day and celebrate my recovery. I suggested this idea to Paul, my two best friends, and their partners. The plan was to drive there Friday afternoon, run the 10K Saturday morning, and spend the rest of the weekend exploring the town. Everyone was on board. Paul recently started a new job. It's fully remote and he hasn't met his coworkers yet. He's supposed to fly to SF to meet his team the Monday after our weekend trip. We knew this when we made our plans. A few days before our trip, Paul told me his bosses now want him to be in SF on Sunday because they got box seats to a giant games and they want him to come, so he will no longer be able to come on our trip. I thought he was joking because he made fun of corporate chaos culture, but he was serious. I told him to explain the situation and that they can't expect him to be available with less than a week's notice. He said he had already told them yes, and he didn't want to backtrack. So asking him to tell them he forgot he had a wedding to attend or something like that, and he said he didn't want to turn down the offer because it will be a really good networking opportunity. I suggested he join on Friday as planned and drive back late Saturday or early Sunday to catch his flight. He said no because he didn't want to drive 6 hours round trip just for one day. I suggested he fly out of the regional airport nearby, which he also shut down because it will be too expensive. He makes good money, so this wouldn't be a financial burden. I was almost in tears at this point, pleading him to come and telling him how important it was to me. When I realized he wasn't going to budge, I stopped trying to convince him, but I did let him know I was hurt and angry by his decision. The morning I was supposed to leave, Paul was trying to be affectionate and sweet towards me, but I'm still pretty upset. So I was admittedly pretty bitchy to him and rejected all attempts at affection. Now he's upset with me for ruining our last day together and also for pressuring him to skip his work event. I think he's a bad guy for prioritizing a baseball game over a celebration of my recovery, especially considering he is the one that caused my injury in the first place. My friends are on my side, but I would like some unbiased opinion. So, what do you think? I'm at the beg for not checking my card sooner for my friend's passport. So this happened a couple of days ago. But it's been on off playing on my mind, and I don't know if I'm a bad guy or not. My boyfriend moved into my place a few months ago, but we've been taking the move slowly, decorating the spare room to be his game room, etc. We've both been on a new leaves, specifically to spend time together as my boyfriend works night shift 2 weeks of the month, and we wanted to progress the movie a bit more. We planned that on Wednesday, we'd visit his parents to collect the main items or furniture, like desks, tables, lamps, and some clothes. Here's where the issue starts. My friend messaged me at 8:45 in the morning to ask me to check if his passport was in my car, as she thinks she lost it when our friends were all out together, and her bag tipped over in my car, spilling everything inside it. I shall point out that this night out was over 2 months ago in March, and this is the first time she is asked about the passport. I didn't see the message straight away, as my boyfriend and I were sleeping in a little. My friend knew I was off work on leave, and when we got up, we went straight into sorting things with the house to take rubbish to the dump before bringing more of his things over. She messaged again at 12 p.m. saying, "Could I check this today?" because she needed to go for a new one tomorrow. So I messaged back at that point to say that I had been in and out of my car a lot since that night, including going in and out the back of the car with my dog, and hadn't seen a passport. But that's of course I will check again and have a more thorough look. This is where I might be the bad guy. My boyfriend and I drove through to his parents, and I forgot to check the back of the car properly before leaving. When we arrived an hour later, taking separate cars for space, my dog had an accident in the box seat and peed everywhere. He's never done anything like it before, so it was surprising. I had to stop at the nearest stop to get cleaning supplies. Then I cleaned my car out in the middle of a retail car park, while ensuring my dog was safe. Then I drove to my boyfriend's parents' house, where I immediately checked the back of my car, but as I suspected, there was no passport. I messaged my friend to let her know after I had checked, which didn't happen until 4:45 p.m., but I apologized for this, saying it had been a hectic day. My friend messaged me back saying I would have appreciated hearing that earlier. I get it's busy, but it would have taken 5 minutes. I've spent the whole day hoping it was there so I could avoid changing our flights. Thanks for checking. I was a bit shocked, and I know these friends can be quite prickly at times, but I thought I didn't complete the favor she asked, which was to check that day, and I did. I also feel like I had my own plans that day that were important, and I did give her a strong indication earlier in the day that it wasn't there. So I'm not the bad guy because I didn't check my car sooner. Some people seem to think my friend is going on a trip soon, and to be honest, I have absolutely no idea if she is. She asked me to check that day, saying because I need to go for a new one tomorrow. So I assumed she was getting a new passport. She only mentioned changing the flights when I told her the passport was in my car. I have no other information regarding her situation other than this. So I'm not the bad guy for asking my girlfriend to dress better on a date night. So we had decided to go out on the weekend, and I suggest going somewhere fancy. She says okay, and I found an upscale Chinese restaurant and show it to her. She says cool, and we agree to spend the evening there. Fast forward to the evening. I see her dressed in a t-shirt and worn down jeans. Ask her why she's not wearing a dress, and she just replies, she doesn't feel like it. I'm like, okay, but I told you it's a fancy place. And she's like, oh, it's just a Chinese restaurant. I pull up their Instagram and try to show her their food to convince her that it's upscale. But she doesn't even want to look at all. Ask her again to dress appropriately, and this time she pissed and she says we are not going anywhere tonight. We haven't talked since then. It's been a day now. She usually likes to dress up even when we go to normal bar. This is leaving me confused. And also, I just want to make a few things clear. The place had a dress code, smart and elegant, so not really dressy and not so casual either. I wasn't asking her to specifically wear a dress, but just to dress a bit better. We live together and I know her wardrobe, and a dress is usually what she prefers to wear when she dresses up. I look at the few posts and stories on their page, and in most of them, the women seem to be dressed up a bit. I didn't want her to feel uncomfortable when we got there, as she's pretty self-conscious. And people ask me what I wore. I wasn't dressed yet. I usually wait until she's done. But anyway, I was planning to wear a polo shirt and a pair of chinos. And to people saying chinos and polo is not dress up, this is in Dubai and the weather is insanely hot, especially during the summer. Wearing a suit is not an option, and where you do, you look out of place. So, guys, what do you think? Boyfriend wants to flip the mattress because his side has sunken in. I don't want to because my side hasn't sunken in. Am I the bad guy? My boyfriend weighed more than me. 80-90 lbs by his estimation. But he hasn't weighed himself in forever, like his words. He has a very physically demanding job and has a lot of muscle. His side of the mattress, the king size, is sagging, and he wants to flip the mattress so he can have my side, the side that isn't sagging. The mattress was a gift from my parents to me for Christmas last year. The mattress is less than a year old. I don't want to flip it because A, it's been less than a year since we have it. B, I don't want to sleep on the sagging side and have my non-sagging side ruined. The mattress is the type where it's supposed to have the top on top throughout the life of the mattress. So to flip it will be moving the end where our feet are to where our heads currently are. He suggested we pause here and see what the general consensus is, and we'll check back in a few hours because we don't want this to be a big thing. So we decided to take a shot every time somewhere suggests we break up over this minor issue, and we currently at 3. One person said I should break up with him because he's selfish for wanting me to be uncomfortable while I sleep because of a problem he created. One person said he should break up with me because I don't want him to be comfortable while he sleeps. Another person said I should just change my boyfriend for a different one. Anyways, after doing a little research, we saw we're supposed to flip the mattress once every few months to maintain the health of the mattress. I grew up being told to flip a mattress once a year, not sure if this changed with the improvements of mattresses, or if it's just new info science decided, or maybe I was just so wrong. The mattress wasn't as e-sale from IKEA. It was still in the plastic, but because it was as is, it can't be returned or exchanged for any reason. My parents got a significant deal on it because of this, and the boyfriend and I were both super excited for it because it would have otherwise been out of their price range. I did research of the firmness because I worry about that kind of thing. I did ask boyfriend for his opinion, and he was present for this research, but he said whatever I choose, he will be fine with, because he didn't care about soft versus firm. We will be flipping it for now, and if I notice a significant difference, we will flip it back and look into getting a mattress topper or some other solution for the problem. So thank you everyone for your input. I'm not the bad guy for taking my garbage out late at night. I'm a newly minded single mom of 2 tornadoes and rarely have the time for everything in my day. I've all but given up doing big cleans while they're awake. Collect garbage, tidying, fixing. All I can do is damage control. Once they go to bed, I put a podcast on and do the real cleaning. Another tricky side note, my 4-year-old has insomnia, and sometimes I have to start a bit later than normal. Kitchen, bathroom, living room, little boxes, take the garbage out, and to the curb once a week. Sometimes I can't get to that point until 11 p.m. On rare occasions, 3 a.m. I'm not a monster though. I place my bags gently in the bin and roll it down to the curb. The rolling can be loud and the bins are massive, so I keep it on the grass to cushion some of the noise. My neighbor was so kind to me now that he called the police because there was someone in the back alley late at night where the bins are stored and picked up on collection day. But the police couldn't be bothered to show up. I told him that may have been me, actually. Don't worry about crimes and that, just trying to get some cleaning done. Today I asked them, hey, we haven't spoken out in well. You guys okay? He was not happy, but I'm not used to noisy neighbors who thinks it's okay to take the garbage out after 6 p.m. I told him that time management can be difficult on my own, but he brushed me off. He said that even my neighbors across the way think little of me. So I'm not the bad guy for cleaning later in the day into the night. I'm not the bad guy for getting my mother-in-law kicked out after she spilled coffee in my suitcase. I came home at 3 a.m. from work trip few days ago. I was jet lagging, only wanted to see my wife and go to sleep. I was surprised to see that my mother-in-law was also waiting with my wife for my arrival at our living room. The second I walk in, my mother-in-law starts complaining about how I was supposed to arrive at 2 a.m., how she has been up for 1 hour more than she thought she would, etc. I had sent a message to my wife that my flight was delayed, but my mother-in-law thought that I should have sent her a message as well, even though I didn't know she would also be waiting for me. My wife calmed her mother down, and I told them that I was going to sleep. That was apparently not the things for my mother-in-law to start complaining. She thought that I need to empty my suitcase before I go to sleep. My wife stood up for me and told her mother that I don't need to empty it right now, and I can do it in the morning when I wake up. They argued for a little while, but finally I got my permission to go to sleep from my mother-in-law. At this point, I needed to say that I left my suitcase closed and it was out of the way, standing near a wall. Fast forward to next morning, when my wife and I woke up to a scream from my mother-in-law. Both of us got straight up from bed and went to see what happened. My mother-in-law stood horrified in the middle of our living room, and she was looking at my suitcase, which now was laying open on the floor. My wife asked what happened, and my mother-in-law responds that she had accidentally spilled the coffee in my suitcase because I had left it laying open on the floor. My wife and I both keep she was lying, because I didn't leave the suitcase like that. I looked at my suitcase and immediately realized that the amount of coffee in my suitcase didn't match the size of the cup my mother-in-law was holding, because the cup was small and there was lots of coffee in my suitcase. I started crying because everything that I had in the suitcase was ruined. My mother-in-law started saying I was overreacting and I shouldn't have left my suitcase laying around like that. She said I was a bad guy because I blamed her for what happened. At this point, my wife kicked her mother out and confronted me. Now that few days have passed, I've started thinking that maybe I overreacted, and it really was my fault that my mother-in-law spilled the coffee in the suitcase. So, I'm not the bad guy here.